for this blessing of our community and the opportunity to serve. Help us put aside differences to work together with a spirit of cooperation and to build a city where all can thrive. May our actions reflect your love and justice. Amen.
Amen. If you remain standing for pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Are there any changes to the agenda for tonight's meeting?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask for approval regarding the minutes from our regular meeting on Tuesday, January 27th. I know the council has those minutes in their packets. If there are no objections or comments, at this time, I'll accept the motion.
Councilwoman Grassett, I make a motion to accept the January 27th council meetings.
We have a motion from...
Minutes, I can't say it. Minutes.
We get the gist. We got a motion from Councilwoman Grassett. Is there a second?
Councilman Quillen, I will second that.
A second from Councilman Quillen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Those pass unanimously. At this time, are there any changes for the agenda of tonight's meeting?
No, sir, there are not.
All right. At this time, I believe we're going to begin the formal real estate tax appeal process. It's 7:02 p.m. Drum roll, please.
There's no one here at this time.
Nobody here. Okay. So at this time, I'm going to move over to public comment. Is there anyone here this evening for public comment?
There are no individuals for public comment.
Okay. I'll keep it moving. Is there anyone here for correspondence?
We have no correspondence, sir.
All right. So we get to move over to new business number 1, and I believe it's our Director of Public Works, Burley Mears.
Good evening.
Yep, so we were approached by T-Mobile to fix some antennas on the Delaney water tower. As you all are probably aware that we already have Verizon antennas on 3 of our water towers, including Delaney. So T-Mobile wants to get in the game, and they like our fixed asset over there in Delaney. So they approached us. We negotiated a deal, very similar language to the Verizon deal. That's what you see. I will say, just to give you a little more information, it's a 5-year contract with automatic renewals for 5-year terms up to 30 years, which is very similar to the Verizon structure.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments regarding new business number 1?
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Without reading the whole contract, they are responsible for any welding and brackets and painting. Because I remember a long time ago that you said that the paint was over $1,000 a gallon to patch that. So
Yep, they
just want to make sure that they're
yep, they were required to get a structural analysis of the tank before they fixed anything, and then they are required when they weld to top coat with that.
yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me. Just out of curiosity, in the 5-year renewals, does that mean renegotiation of rate for having the tower up there in terms of, you know, more money, or is it going to be a fixed number every 5 years?
So right now, there's an annual 2% escalator
Okay.
built into the contract. So after 5 years, we could renegotiate that if we want to.
Okay.
That 2% keeps going forward.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question. Do you think there may be possible interest in putting T-Mobile up on the other locations as well in the future?
They haven't mentioned that.
Haven't mentioned it at
but
this
yeah,
point?
we're open to whatever they want.
Okay.
Whatever they want to offer.
Any additional questions or comments from council? If there are none at this time, I'll accept the motion.
Councilman Quillen will make the motion to approve the site lease agreement with T-Mobile Northeast LLC for portions of the property located at 1799 Delaney Street for and antenna facility installation on Delaney Street Water Tower as presented.
We have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Holland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. On to new business number 2. It is that time of year. We are here to present the appointments for the election officers and the Board of Elections for 2026 municipal election. Those members are in your packet. I'll just briefly read those off to you. For the Board of Elections, we have George F. Stewart as the chair, Mike H. Vincent, and Sharon Drugash on the Board of Elections, and the election officers, Rick Peterson, Isaac Ross, Jeffrey Stevenson, Amy King, Carson Hastings, and Mary Borger. Those names have been submitted to council. At this time, if you have any questions or comments regarding those nominees, we'll accept those questions or comments.
One question.
Vice Mayor? Yep.
What is the age of Carson Hastings?
18.
Good question.
18.
What's
He
that?
just turned 18.
You just turned 18? Okay.
That's my question,
Yeah.
is if he's reached the age of majority.
All right. Councilman Quillen is validated. We're good to go. All right, we're getting a thumbs up. Any additional questions or comments? If there are none, at this time, I'll set the motion.
Councilman Holland, I make the motion to approve the appointments for the election officers and Board of Elections for the 2026 municipal election as presented.
We have a motion from Councilman Holland. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
We have a-
Motion, excuse me.
Very good. We have a second from Councilman Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Those pass unanimously. Quickly, want to thank all those individuals for signing up. It can be a very long day and a bit grueling, but we appreciate your service to the community. It's a huge, huge lift. Yeah, we appreciate it. On to new business number 3, and I believe our Deputy Chief, Tyler Justice, is here to make a report.
Good evening.
There we go.
Tonight, I'd like to talk real briefly about a new program that the police department came out with. Can you hear me now?
Okay, Verizon.
So the police department last week, we started a program called Vacation Watch. This is a program through the Frontline portal where essentially residents can go on to a link that is on the city's website. It's also on the police department's page, as well as on our Facebook page. But you can see a picture of where the link is up there. All residents have to do is click the link. It takes them to this public portal, which is both in English and Spanish. They can fill out their information about when they will be out of town. Are there going to be lights on in their house? Do they have pets? Will they have anyone visiting? Any other notes or information that they would want the police department to know, and then submit it, and we get a notification. It is completely, the notification just comes to the police department. It is not, I know there has been some questions about, can anyone else in the public possibly see when I'm out of town? They cannot. It's a private portal for the department on that end. But essentially the service is this, is that when residents submit their house on Vacation Watch, officers will, when time allows, drive by, do a property check on that property. And for officers, it's a pretty easy lift. They can click one button and say, hey, the property is all okay. Or they even have the option to add in notes or other comments that they might have. Hey, I noticed the back gate was open, or there's a light on upstairs. Any sort of little comments like that. And then they hit submit, and the resident gets an automatic email notification that either says, hey, the property's all okay, or it includes whatever notes that the officer has included. So it's really a nice program for peace of mind for residents who are out of town. and something that helps them feel like the police department is watching over their property. So there are two other elements in this frontline program that we got recently. The vacation watch is the one for the residents, but I just wanted to go over the other two. One is directed patrol, and that is a system completely internal for the department that will help us organize those calls for, we want to call them nuisance calls about, we've got vehicles running stop signs in this area, or we've got speeding on this street, or we always see people sleeping on the benches here or there. There's kind of repeated, not specific events, but something that's just kind of happening, and they're wanting police presence in an area. There's a portal now that we have that will help us track those things. When officers go out there, they can log their time, log if they're issued any citations, if they made contact with anyone, how many vehicles they might have stopped, and then it kind of summarizes everything so that we have a real clean, easy, neat way to provide that data, or to just make sure that, hey, you called about this speeding problem. Well, over the last week, we've had 6 officers out there for a total of 15 hours. They've issued this number of tickets. It makes it real easy to pull all that data, and that's completely internal. And then the other thing is contact card. This is a program that allows us, when we make contact with people out in the community and we run checks on them, a lot of times we're going to use this for our trespassing complaints. I know that's always been a topic of discussion among our business community especially, but when officers go out there and they make contact with someone and they say, hey, you are now, the business doesn't want you on this property anymore, or, you can't be here, you need to move along, you can enter their information into that portal. It kind of saves it as like a reference book for those individuals, and it allows officers to quickly pull up. They encounter someone. A lot of times we encounter the same people over and over again, and say, okay, Joe Smith, hey, I notice you run his name, pull it up, say, oh, well, you've been told that you're not allowed on this property, this property, this property, this property, and this property. All right, so, you'll either arrest them for trespassing because they're back on those properties, or you're going to add another one to that list. And so it's really a quick and convenient reference guide for the officers to help handle the individuals that we come across a lot. So that's the basics of our frontline portal, what we have right now, and I just wanted to go over that quickly and answer any questions if you guys had any.
I will just make one quick comment. I think some of these initiatives are ingenious. I'm curious about the concept of watching people's houses when they're on vacation. Where did that come from?
Well, we have always kind of done that.
Yeah.
Some residents have thought ahead to call into the department and say, hey, I'm going to be out of town from this time to this time, and that information might get passed to all the shifts. It might just get passed to the shift that's working by the call taker. And if they think about it, the officers will go out there and, sometimes they'll check the property. Sometimes they used to leave like a business card in the door or something like that. But it was kind of inconsistent and not really tracked or even known that the police department would do a thing like that for the residents.
I love it. I think the
So
vacation.
this is just really a formalized and very public.
Yeah, I think it's an added service for our residents. 100%.
It is,
I think
it
vacation watch is a
It's
great idea.
Very low cost, so.
It will
Alright.
be the highlighted feature of my neighborhood newsletter that goes out next
There you
week.
go.
It's a great idea. That's my comment. Do we have any questions or comments from council?
Got one.
Councilman?
Hey, Deputy Chief, you brought up you have it in Spanish, but you never mentioned Creole.
Creole.
I just don't want you to get some same thing.
No,
Get slandered.
I know that there would be questions about that. The translation option was an option presented by the company.
Okay.
That it was not something, we had no way of
Right.
creating a separate page for either Spanish or Creole. They just gave us that option. Do you want all this information in Spanish as well?
Okay.
We checked yes.
Gotcha.
So.
Any additional questions or comments from council? All right. Thank you, Deputy Chief. We appreciate it. All right. As we move on to new business number 4, teeing up the conversation regarding Riverfest. It's a topic of conversation around the city from time to time from our residents. Want to tee up for council's consideration, whether it's a good idea to bring it back, to not. We're still alive? We're good? Okay. Do we want to, does the council have an appetite for the Riverfest concept? Do we want to look into a committee to look into it? I know our Director of Parks and Recreation, Katie Hickey, put together some valuable information for our council in the packet to review. Just want to tee up the conversation. It's something I think our residents have asked for the last few years, and it's something that we want to consider to bring back, not this year, but the following year. So that's basically what I have for it. I don't know if there are any questions or comments, or discuss amongst yourselves. Councilman Quillen.
I'll start off.
Yep.
The concept is good, I think. I think that there should be some type of event, but to bring it back as Riverfest, I think we need to look at a different perspective of everything, bring it back in a different way, look at how can we utilize our downtown area and how do we service our downtown customers, not bringing outside vendors in, taking away from people going into our businesses in the downtown area. I think if we do something and we utilize the river in a different way, I know with the float-in, it takes a lot of people, a lot of extra, the fire department involved and a lot of other people involved, which was costly. We need to look at some type of concept that brings people to the river. Lewis is very successful with a boat parade. Kayaking is very popular. There's just a lot of things we can look at differently and making sure that the people that we draw are patronizing our downtown district.
Yep.
And I think that if we do something, we rename it, first of all, and my good suggestion there would be, let's put it out to the public, let's put it out to our residents and say, hey, let's come up with a great name for this event. So that was my kind of thinking on this. I think it's a fantastic idea. The funding of part of it is also very concerning to me because I know that this Riverfest costs us thousands of dollars to put on. We've got to look maybe at some type of a partnership or some type of donations from our businesses to help the cost on this as well. I know when Riverfest was first came to fruition, I know there was several businesses that put a lot of money into it, and they slowly phased out and putting in money in because Riverfest was kind of dying out. So if we do this, I think we bring it back and we revamp it in a different way. That's my suggestions, okay?
Councilman?
Being a downtown resident,
Yep.
I've had the advantage and disadvantage of being at Ground Zero. I really think the Riverfest ship has sailed. I know the float-in has attracted a lot of attention, but from my standpoint, being downtown, you know, if you're not out of your house and on the street early, it becomes an issue for getting home and being able to go somewhere. Also puts a hindrance, as my fellow councilman said, on the small businesses down there. I know that one individual, their restaurant, they just plan on going on vacation that week because it's going to kill their business, so they combine it that way. So my thought is, if we have something, maybe have it in a fashion that it can complement everyone. Okay, so maybe we need to think in a different direction.
It's interesting you say that about the business, because I've heard the complete opposite from businesses downtown that said, you don't realize the negative impact you had by not having the Riverfest event. They looked forward to it, and they felt additional business from that. So I'd be curious to kind of see collectively what the businesses thought about that.
I think one other thing is we put it to bed or put it to rest because there were very few people helping with it. And if this becomes an event that our Parks and Rec person is the only one in charge of and has to do, if we can't partner with other organizations to make it happen, then it's not fair to that department or that person.
I would agree 100%. I think part of the concept is to, especially now, to connect with various nonprofit organizations who can help take this over.
Well,
I by no means do I want to lay this at the feet of any of our departments.
well, and during our liaison meeting this morning, there was a discussion if you get other businesses involved in it from the outside, we want to make sure that halfway through, they don't decide they're, not going to contribute anymore, and then puts more of a burden on Katie, because that's not fair either.
100%. 100%. Yes.
Now, if this starts back up, is this gonna phase out the fall festival, or you can try to do both?
No, it would be a completely different event. Fall Festival will be, when they have it last year, is it September?
October.
October?
yeah.
October. This, I'm guessing this would be more
Yeah, they moved it.
May, June-ish.
Yeah, they moved it to September, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I got one other thing is, we have a growing event going on right now, and that's Friday Night Live. And if we do something, maybe we can coordinate it with that as well. I know Seaford tomorrow is involved with that, and I know Katie is very involved with it too as well. So how do we connect that all, put all those pieces together if we do something? I think it you might want to try to put it around Friday Night Live and relocate the location of it for that evening to where it's a bigger revenue, and to look at it that way so we can draw more people and have more people there.
Sure.
Too as well. So, just another suggestion.
Yeah, I think these are all good suggestions, and I think that's why bringing it up now for next year is to talk these things through and see what options you have interest in, if there is interest at all. I look at it as an opportunity because you could, I don't say repackage, but you can reinvent this thing. It doesn't have to be the same way it was before. Could have a different name, could have a completely different feel to it. It's really up to the council and kind of how you see it moving forward, if you do see it moving forward. Any additional comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I think it's a little premature for us to vote on an event that's not going to be called a Riverfest, and that we don't have private support lined up. Personally, if you came to me and said XYZ Association or XYZ International wanted to come and participate and be the primary sponsor of this event and run it, then I would say, yeah. I would like, my personal feeling is that I would like to see it emulate or something like Brews and Clues, where we didn't have vendors lined up. It showcased the sidewalk of the downtown. Even though the street's closed for traffic, there would be a minimum number of vendors on the street. We're trying to, the river is adjacent to the downtown, and if you want to have it downtown, and if it's going to be in 27, then hopefully the Oyster Park, the Oyster House Park would be substantially complete and ready to showcase so that most of that event could be held on the riverfront. I realize there may be construction down there by then in a year and a half. So, I got mixed emotions about it. I don't want to see us get into the pressure of having another Riverfest event where it's pretty much all city employees doing it.
100%. And I think
I don't want to fall into that trap again.
Yes. I think everybody's expressing the same thing. We don't want city employees having to galvanize around it. That was the reason why, well, one of the reasons why I think we took a step back from
Well,
it
that's why
originally.
it disintegrated,
Yeah.
because we were leaning too heavily on city employees to put up an event for the community.
So I guess here would be my question. I think it is a bridge too far to say, hey, yay or nay on this as an overall concept. Would it be worth the council's time, or would it make sense to potentially, I don't know, develop a committee or to look into the concept? Like, how would we want to take the conversation further?
Well, I mean, first of all, have you talked to Katie about it? Because if it don't go through, she would take the brunt of it all. How she feel about it?
Well, we could talk about it. I mean, she's
I mean,
here.
staff,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean-
Director and I have talked with Katie about it. Ms. Hickey presented the document that's in your paperwork around the Riverfest event, what it would take to restart it, the expenses, potential dates and times as she knew it. So she's generally aware, that this is a possibility.
We also haven't started the budget process yet, and this would need to come out of the next budget. So we're talking, $16,000 is what the minimum expense was estimated to be, without including paying any firefighters or have men in the water. So I think as we start the budget process, it's something we can have in the back of our minds and talk about. And if we want to invest some money in it, we can add it to the budget.
So I
Would it
guess
be okay to say that we go ahead and form a committee and come back and review this in maybe 3 months or so?
it's probably, I mean, my position is probably smarter to do that, because we just don't have enough information to make a full conclusion on it.
Okay, who do we want to assign for the committee chair? Katie?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think we'll try not to lean on the city staff, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's,
Yeah, I was going to say, I think as we move towards next year, Katie's going to be working with a new building, and
Yeah.
I would not want to add this to anybody's plate in the city at this point.
I think, I mean, instead of, aligning a committee chair per se, would a committee, just in general, that process, be worthwhile to investigate to see if this is an option for
Okay.
the city? That's kind of where I'm coming from, like just some general direction. Is it worth looking into?
I would agree that it's worth looking into, but I don't agree that the council should vote to approve a Riverfest.
No. I think it's more so if the council believes it's a possibility, or might have an appetite underneath the right, leadership, aside from our city involvement as much as it was in the past, perhaps we develop a committee. Is that a viable option?
I agree with that's a viable option, yes.
Do we have any additional questions or comments? Okay, if there are none, I'll take a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion to table this motion for now and investigating, put a committee together to evaluate the possibility of a summer event for 2027.
We have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
We have a second from Councilman Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That passes unanimously. On to old business.
We have no old business, sir.
All right. Do we have any reminder of meetings?
The only thing we have is the municipal election, Saturday, April 18th. As council is aware, the mayor's seat is up for election and 2 council member seats. Vice Mayor Dan Henderson has filed for re-election. Councilman Mike Bradley has filed for re-election, and Mayor McCoy has filed for re-election. All candidates must have filed by 4 p.m. Friday, February 27th. That's all I have, sir.
All right. At this time, we'll move over to liaison reports. We'll begin with Code, Parks and Recreation, and Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
All right, I'll start with the Code Department. They have issued 21 permits so far in 2026. They are continuing to process rental renewals as well as license renewals for several areas in the city. been doing routine inspections and violation inspections throughout the city and reviewing plan reviews for new permits. As far as any of the large project statuses, there's really not much of an update to any of them since I reported last. Bel Air, we said there was a sewer line, that there was an issue, and I believe we're still working on that. Before that development is completely turned over to them. We are still waiting for the first lease at the Western Sussex Business Campus. Nylon, if you ride by, you've noticed they've started tearing some things down in the front, and the back buildings, the Deltec, as well as Tidal Health and the mill are progressing. I do know they're going to be doing stormwater tie-in through Tull Drive. Modwash, if you've been by there, the building is up. The exterior facade has, installation has started. They're working on the interior as well, and they're hoping to open in April. In Governor's Grant, D.R. Horton has 2 homes under construction. Aldi has received all their approvals. We are just waiting for them to get going. Cookout, the final revised plans have been approved, still working on architectural submission. And an update on the Seaford Inn. The property did go to settlement on 1/26/2026. The new owner is going to start working as soon as the weather clears up, going to be doing the roof and securing the exterior first. And he's due back here by March 24th to report to the council as to his progress. Parks and Recreation report, as well as for the director. They have been cleaning up loose limbs, trimming things, and everybody has been working on snow. They've had park employees coming in to clear sidewalks, and also we cleared the Stein Highway Bridge and other places that need to be cleared. They have completed 2 trainings on playground safety inspection. They have finalized the youth basketball program. I think you're down to their last games. They have opened registration for spring soccer, and I believe at this point there are at least, I think it was 115 registered, actually 150, I was right, 150 registered for youth soccer, and they closed out Little Wrestlers. And that is it for codes and Parks and Rec.
All right. We'll move over to our Vice Mayor and Police and Fire, and Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 2 complete reports from Chief Reed and Chief Kraft. I'll start with Chief Reed first. We have total department responses for the year at 677. That was as of yesterday, for an average of just under 17 calls per day. Under significant incidents, there was 1 fire in the city at 325 Arch Street on February 2nd. The other 2 calls, significant incidents, were assists to blades. One was a motor vehicle crash with entrapment, and the other a residential fire. Apparatus status, E87-2 remains in reserve. E85 or 87.5 and ladder 87 each had an incident and took minor damage while responding to the residential fire on Long Branch Road. So far as I know, both of these pieces are still in service, pending minor repairs. Under training, the last training was on Wednesday, January 21st for forcible entry, and pardon me. The next training is February 18th at 1900 hours, man versus machine. You'll see the new format here with training. It can be zoomed, you can zoom in on it because some of the pie slices are very thin, but you can see the percentages when you look at the different topics and the different trainings. Under EMT or EMS, candidate testing was held on February 4th for the vacant firefighter EMT position. 6 candidates were tested. EMT Alyssa Kimmel is in phase 3 of her FTO process and is doing great. Under news and events, the chief attended the call board meeting at the Sussex County Public Safety Building in Georgetown on February 2nd. The fire department annual banquet was on Saturday the 7th, and the chief thanks all for attending, and he says it was great to see everyone. And I will say that I'm happy to have been invited and able to attend. Pre-construction conference was completed on January 30th for the new ambulance on order, expected to be delivered around July of this year. Moving on to Police Chief Kraft's report, you'll see the usual columns, and a few columns have been dropped off. We're keeping a 5-year history. Total complaints for the year for 2026 is 1,148, and you'll see the distribution of all the other subtotals there. Under all crimes, there's 154 crimes, and those subtotals for a 92% clearance rate, which is above the running average. They run around 86 to 87%. The last period was a little bit higher than this period. However, that's an impressive clearance rate. Under additional crime, there were 12 complaints for a 42% clearance rate. Under drug complaints, there were 12 drug crimes, 10 adult arrests, and 2 prosecutions declined. Traffic, 176 traffic contacts, resulting in 102 citations and 14 warnings, 1 DUI, and 0 crash, not crash related. There were 64 crashes in this period, none fatal, 7 injury accidents, and you'll see the list of where they occurred. They all appear to have been on public streets. 22 non-reportable accidents, 35 reportable, and that doesn't quite add up, but there was 11 hit-and-run accidents over the period, 7 on private property, and the rest were on public streets. No bicycle or motorcycle or pedestrian accidents, and fortunately no school bus accidents. During the period, you'll see the crime view data there for the days of the week and the times of day that the police department was most busy. And I will leave it for you to peruse the significant events. They're listed there. They are numerous, and there's several updates from previous reports. There's the 2 at the top are updates. Under administration, you can see that the administration has been very busy, attending several different meetings over the period. Would like to thank the chief for attending the SCAT breakfast and the SCAT meeting, Sussex County Association of Towns meeting last week. And under community events, the Food On program is continuing with several police department officers involved. On the 5th of February, 2 officers participated in Cheer Day at the Sussex Montessori School. And on the 8th, they participated in a community event at Hudson Field for the family of Corporal Snook, and that was SRO Wingate. Under training, the Spear Team continues training. The Dover Police Academy began on January 11th for 21 weeks, and 3 recruits are still in. Chief, can you confirm that all 3 are in today? As of today, okay.
It may change
All right.
by end of year.
Well, fortunately,
He said
the recruit will pull through. I understand there were some health concerns, or hopefully that will be able to continue. There's a conditional hire for 2 applicants. One for the Delaware State Police Spring 26 Academy, and 1 certified officer with post reciprocity. And Staff Sergeant Lorian has his drone pilot license renewed, so congratulations to him for keeping up with that. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Going to move over to Administration and Councilman Orlando Holland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me. They participated in the Opioid Settlement Fund meeting and possibly disbursement options. They attended the DEMIC Executive and Board meeting, and he met with Jesse Parks regarding KRM development. And they also met with the developer to discuss redevelopment of Chandler Heights. And they attended the Representative Dana Short's coffee meeting. And they attended the Seaford Voluntary Fire Department annual banquet dinner along with mayor and council, which is always a well-attended event. And they also attended SCAT meeting held in Georgetown and attended various other meetings and events, and all the work was routine. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Holland. Over to Electric and Councilman Mike Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There was a lot of time spent at the Innovation Center to eliminate a pole on Sussex, pad-mounted switchgear, and 3 separate transformers. They repaired the street lights on High Street. Well, they're on timer, but there was a short in it, so they identified the short and repaired it. Worked to restore power in various locations, including Westview, of course, because of the wind. And the Dollar Tree was receiving new feed just today while we were having the liaison meeting. Greg has been working on evaluations, also working on quotes for the fiscal 27-year budget. And he met with engineers on the Ross Station budget items. As per my reputation, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent tonight. I was working on Thursday of this past week and received a phone call from a research group representing Delmarva Power and wanted my feelings about the company and the rates and so on and so forth. And I very politely gave them a piece of my mind, 11% last year and 7% this year, and they're for profit, and we're with a consortium that's going to keep their rates level for the next year, if not 2. And so this went on and on to a point that I had to say something I never thought I'd ever say in my life. Are you done yet? And he had held me up for over 15 minutes on the phone, and naturally, with it being a business phone, I could have lost the biggest sale of the week, if you follow what I'm saying. So I was very pointed with my answers, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Bradley. Going to move over to Public Works and Wastewater Treatment Facility and Councilman Alan Quinlan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to recognize our Director of Public Works and Wastewater Treatment tonight. He's had a very challenging 2 weeks trying to keep our city streets clean. So a lot of sewer lateral cleanings and things like that, all because of the cold weather that we've had. So I want to give him kudos to him and his crew. And thank you very much for everything that you've done for our city for the last 2 weeks. So thank you very much. So I'll move over into Public Works. And as I said, he's been definitely busy salting and sanding city streets during this snowstorm. Sewer main camera inspection on Bel Air for acceptance of catch basin cleaning at the end of Hurley Park Drive, washed out catch basin repair near Railroad Deep Cut, sewer lateral root cut on 308 Nylon Boulevard, unhooked plows, cleaned out the salt spreaders and the briner. Let's hope we don't have to hook them back up again, right, Burley? And sewer lateral repair to the golf course maintenance shop, clean valves, boxes, and operated valves on the Tall Street for upcoming shutdown, HVAC motor replacement at the Arbutus pumping station, started sweeper repair for the separator liner that's inside the actual sweeper, exhaust fan replacement in 534 treatment building, and performed all other tasks for the week. And I'll move over to wastewater treatment facility and the compost. Plant performance is good. Water temperatures are a little low because of the temperatures outside. Dewatering has been good, and the transition to clean Delaware has been a smooth and clean transition all the way through on that too as well. So everything's operating good for that transition. Ice in the conduit caused faults in the both grit collector electrical feeds necessary to install new feeds for new grit system control panel. Septic reports completed, and managing snow and ice has been a little bit challenging. So that completes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Just one thing for me tonight. It was an honor to attend the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department dinner the other night with these fine ladies and gentlemen up here. We got opportunity to recognize Representative Danny Short and Mr. Obier for 50 years of service to this community. It's pretty startling listening to all of their accomplishments and all they've done for our community over the years. So just a quick thank you to both those gentlemen for all they've done. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
We cannot.
Oh,
We gotta be here till 8.
oh, that is, we haven't had this in a long time.
Could you ask if anybody else is here for?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. Is there anyone here this evening for their tax appeal? No one. Wow, yeah.
I would think so, as long as we're here to be able to, you can, and then if anybody comes in, and we'll turn it back on after 8. Yeah, that's a,
When's the last time this happened? For a long time.
it has happened in the past, but it's very, very rare.
All right.
It's very rare.
All right, so, I mean, at this
You
time,
can recess at any time.
I'm asked for a motion to go into recess.
I'll make a motion to we recess till 8 o'clock.
Have a motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I make that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. We're in recess. Thank you so much.
Sorry.